Bless all the paths our feet walk to be free. Bless all the paths our feet walk to be free.
Aho, child of the earth, do you know the secret of the giveaway? The more you release, the more you receive, for that is nature's way. Aho, child of this earth, do you believe in reaping what you sow? A drop of wisdom will bring the truth, and then you will know. Today's talk is about giveaway. We're going to talk turkey. That's what that is, a turkey feather. It is the giveaway ceremony with the native peoples that have brought a lot to this culture that we don't even realize. One of the most important ceremonies in the Native American teaching is the giveaway or potlatch ceremony. In this ritual, giving away of useful or loved possessions is a form of sharing with others. It is also a sign that the giver is willing to make a sacrifice and surrender a gift to another person without attachment or regret. The Native understanding of sacrifice originally meant to make sacred. To make any act or sacred gift or gift sacred, one has to complete the action with a joyful heart and a humble attitude. Giving is the only one step of the process and allows the giver to look within so that he or she may examine the growth potential associated with the giveaway. I'm going to negotiate the fan for a second, because it is blowing my book. Sacrifice, to make sacred. That's an interesting definition of sacred, and that's what they did in this giveaway. The key point of this particular paragraph is the humble heart and humble mind. Whenever we're giving something away, we have to give it from this place right here. And the Native Americans knew this. They knew this lesson. They taught this lesson. They lived this lesson well. It is with this reverence that they have always lived their lives. A lot of misunderstandings of some of the lessons that have come from giveaway throughout time, but our Native brothers and sisters lived this way all the time. This book right here that I'm reading from is Sacred Path Cards, and I've read some out of it before. And I'm going to read you this entire thing today because I want you to get what Jamie Sams, who's the author of this book, wrote. And then I'll talk a little bit more about some of the lessons with it. But it's all the words that they have here bring a lot of light to the lesson of giveaway for the people. Many years ago, among the Indians in the Northwest, the Raven clan and the Eagle clan held a potlatch ceremony. These clans would gather all they could give to those in need, and each time the potlatch was held, the clan on the giving end would distribute an even greater amount of goods than they had received at the previous potlatch in order to show their appreciation. The United States government put a stop to this ritual in the early 1900s. The government believed that the potlatches were getting out of hand because people were giving away too much. The government agents could not conceive of how people who were seemingly poor could take what little they had and give it to others, and then live with practically nothing. These agents thought that the potlatch ceremony was a kind of competition that brought shame and poverty to the people, and this was very far from the truth. The government could not conceive of how a body of people who barely had anything could give, and then next year give even more, and then the next year give even more. So you know what they did? They stopped their ceremony and made it illegal, just like the tons of other ceremonies they did with the native peoples that they didn't understand. So let's just stop you from loving each other. Gets me a little mad inside, because this was one of the most purest of ceremonies in their people. We've seen this mimicked throughout time, in movies, in books, in theater, how giving of the heart is a place of joy, and they did this as a way of life. In the Native tradition, no one is ever abandoned, orphaned, or left without food, dwellings, or help. The understanding among the Native people is that when one shares all that one has, in order that the people may continue, that they receive honor and abundance in their lives. That is what is brought to the giver. Indians have extended families who adopt many relatives. The word teospaye in Lakota means extended family. We would be each other's teospaye. We have our normal blood families, and then we have the people that we've chosen to be with. You are my teospaye. You are my extended family. You're the extension that my heart will bring love and share love. There's 7.5 billion people in the world. I'm not meeting them all. I don't have time. But the ones I do meet we seem to be attracted to each other lifetime after lifetime. We come together as souls on our soul journey. We look in each other's eyes and we love each other. And sometimes I may have only met you for a moment in my life, but all of the yous that I have met in my life have been here for me to love. And all of the yous that you have met have been here for you to love. And these people knew that. They knew that they might not get to meet everybody, but what I'm going to do today is for the people I will never meet in my life. Matter of fact, for the next 7 generations of people. That's what they did everything in their life for. The medicine wheel may turn tomorrow, and the ones who are in need today may be blessed with abundance that they may share. Before you grab my book in my folder, because I'm doing things a little different today. This is the wisdom of Lilo, if you've ever seen Lilo and Stitch. Mahalo in Hawaiian means no one gets left behind or forgotten. And this is the tradition of the Native Americans. They will share everything they have. Honor and abundance is brought to the giver, but not power. See, none of them have ever sought power in their giving. You'll look at a lot of different programs now. You'll even see things like Undercover Boss, where you see them giving all this money away. You know how much money they make on that TV show? They can afford it. They can afford to give all the one. Now, I'm glad for the employees that happen to manifest in their lives being picked for this show, because it's made me cry. I've gotten, big mush anyway, but I've gotten plugged into their story, and like, oh, that's really heartfelt. But I wasn't fooled for a minute that those corporate execs were losing any money. They're making money off this show, and they're gaining what? More power. They want their profits to go up. It's a show. It's a show, guys. So in our society, people have mistaken giving. Well, if I give to her, she owes me one. I have power over her now. Or if I make enough money and own enough corporations, then my giving will make you think I'm benevolent. And you'll buy things from my company, and I'll achieve even more power to tell you how to live and where to buy and where to shop. So that is not the lesson of the Native Americans. We have to also remember that at any given moment, the medicine wheel can turn. I've given this story before. I'm going to give it again, and probably again and again. A man is having a wonderful feast to celebrate his abundance and all the wonders of his life. And there was a knock at the door, and a beautiful woman is there, and he's like, "Hi, how can I help you?" She goes, "My name is Good Fortune." He goes, "Welcome, come in, sit and eat and feast with me at my table." He goes to shut the door, and there's someone there knocking on the door, and he opens it, and it is a very old, haggardly looking woman, smelly, gross looking, very, very yucky. And he's like, "What do you want?" She says, "I am Miss Fortune." He goes, "I'm sorry you're not welcome here," but before he can close the door, Good Fortune says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, she's with me. If you welcome me at your table, you have to welcome her." And so goes the lesson of the medicine wheel. At any given moment, they know that the people who had may not have tomorrow. And the people who had not may suddenly come into a buffalo and have enough to feed the whole tribe. Everybody was treated with dignity and respect all the time. You weren't looked at for what you possessed. You were looked at for who you were. Those in need are blessed, and those that are blessed may suddenly be in need. This is a philosophy that they have always lived with, that they have always known. And it's something that we can learn from. And we do. I surround myself with people who know this lesson. I surround myself with you. and is what makes me keep going. To be around people that can touch my heart just by looking in my eyes, what more of a gift would I want in my life? That's the tribe I want to be part of. We may be weird. I'll be the leader.
Just a skosh.
But I know that there's some heartfelt people here. You know, a couple of years ago, last year, we were all worried about the end of the world. How many times in our lives, and even as kids, were we told about the end of the world? And I'm like way off track, but who cares? When I was thinking about it, I thought, well, where would I want to be? I have family. My sister is right here. But I have other family too, but they don't come here. They don't believe some of the things I believe. And I'm thinking, if a world was really going to end, and we wanted to move forward, who would I want to be stuck with? I picked you guys. I may need a therapist, I don't know, but because I believe and I love my family and I want them here too. That it's the thoughts, the heartfeltness, the mindset that we collectively have, and I know that not everyone believes the exact same thing. I'm not asking us to. I'm not even asking us to. I'm inviting us to believe more and more similarly. But I know that with the belief systems here, that we would make a new world, and we would make a new world that came from here, and would be more of the philosophies of these people, which is where we still have our Constitution from anyway, but whatever. So, as I continue with the plan talk I have. I'll be in a moment.
Hey, Mark. Hey, actually, can I come up and say something? It's kind of to the exact effect of what you just said.
Sure, man, come on up.
Thank you. Hey, man, I don't usually do this, but...
I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I've been to a lot of churches. It's been a while. I've been trying to find myself. And I've never felt so unconditionally welcomed by anybody or any group of people. And I just want to say I'm honored to be a part of this family. And I'm really happy that I found it.
Right on. Thank you for finding us and having us find you.
There's a men's group Monday.
Thank you. That took courage. I honor you for that. The purpose of the giveaway is sharing, and that was sharing. Thank you for sharing your heart with us. The lessons connected to this ceremony teach the people how to release possessions and to let go of the ideas that in importance are connected to those belongings. The more prized the possession and the greater the sense of ownership, the more potent the lesson. The giveaway ceremony is never used to get rid of belongings that are no longer functional or badly in need of repair. Some gifts for the giveaway may be made especially for the occasion, but to cast off an item is a disgrace to the giver and shows lack of respect to the receiver. What they're saying here, I'm going to go back to Course in Miracles, the first lesson again. I do know more of the lessons than just the first two, but they're so important. Nothing I see has any meaning in this room, from this street, from this window. Second lesson, I give everything I see meaning. What they're trying to do is let go of the possessions and the meanings you have attached to them. I have a book. I am what? A reader? I can read? What does that mean other than I have this book? I have this flashlight too. Am I better than anyone here? Am I more illuminated? I'm corny and silly, but the thing is, some people get attached to their possessions, and those are stupid, silly little possessions. But what if I had a Ferrari? Well, now I'm important, right? I have a Ferrari.
We have a lot more friends.
So people get attached to these possessions, and they think of themselves as more important because of them. And the Native Americans knew the secret. They didn't even have a word for mine as a possession. The word for mine in their language means my family, my friend. You're my friend, you're mine. But not an ownership mine. They didn't have a word for that in their language. The throwaways are an important thing too. There's nothing wrong with regifting I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but a throwaway gift, if it wasn't worthy enough for you, it's not worthy enough for someone else. So giveaway isn't about getting rid of your trash or something that you don't want anymore. It's about, again, it's the more prized possession, the bigger the honor, the bigger the lesson for you. If one cannot give without strings attached, there is no true release. And the sacredness of the giving without expectations has been destroyed. The idea of envy and coveting the possessions of others was alien concept before the invasion of Turtle Island, which means before the white people got here. Now, I'm not saying all white people are envious and coveting, but from their perspective, they didn't even understand what do you mean you want what I have? Well, here, have it. They didn't understand the coveting aspect of the minds. And we're not going to punish the white people, being we're mostly in white skin, because this is what we are programmed to believe. We're now letting go of that programming and understanding that our self-importance has to do with the love I share with people, not what power I own, what property I own. Among the Native American tribes, if anyone was not taken care of, the people lost face. There was never any justification for some to live in luxury while others of the same tribe starved. Wow. I'm gonna get rolled up again. Because there was 10 cities in Titusville 2 years ago, and half of America is homeless because the corporate Americans stole their houses. And I'm not gonna get political right now, but that didn't happen in their world. That would not happen in their world. No way, shape, or how could that ever happen in the Native American or any tribal people. It was a dishonor for them if I had more than you. If I have more than you, I'm the one who gets dishonored. In our country, if I have more than you, you're the one who gets dishonored. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. The poor are being dishonored because the rich took too much of the pie. I know that I have flusteredness with this in our world, and that I am praying in my heart to forgive us as a race of people, as a people, for some of the transgressions that have happened to us as a people. So we have to unlearn some of this stuff and bring in the philosophies of joy and wonder so that mahalo happens and no one gets left behind. In the Native tradition, a gift was never thought of an obligation or used as a means of controlling people. The person who receives the gift, the obligatory giver, came with the boat people. It's a European-based thought with this obligatory, well, if I give to you, I bet you I'm going to get a good gift. You know, I deserve it, I'm owed one. That's not something that was from them. These ideas are based in European thought that if a person gave, the giver expected something in return. And when this manner of giving is experienced, there is no true giveaway or release. When the attachment to material possessions is strong in a person, the favors given to others are heavily laden with expectations and or demands. The red race knows that the giving is a way of releasing the people's spirit from the attachment to the physical world. In releasing possessions we love dearly, we're able to open ourselves for future abundance. Well, have you any things in your world that you're attached to? I'm faced with it all the time. I do realize it. I mean, just as soon as everyone else. I'm like, probably the two biggest are the dressers I've been carrying around with me since my parents died. But for me, it's more. Those are more about sentiment than they are about, because I'm not making any money off of them. They've been busting my back on them 50 bazillion times carrying them around. So that one I'm attached to because of my parents, but it's still an attachment. And it's a really heavy one too, because I'm made out of solid cherry wood. Hopefully I've moved for the last time for quite a while. I'll be in my house for years and years and years, and they can just deteriorate right there in my bedroom. But for those attachments that I have that I couldn't give away because I thought it made me something, those are the ones that they're teaching us about here. Because that one for the little boy who lost his mom and dad, yeah, no one's going to beat me up for that. I'm not going to miss out on a spiritual lesson because, you know, I like looking in the mirror that my mom looked in. You know, that's okay. But what else do I have that may may make me think I'm more important than others. When I was in the jewelry business, everybody wore gold. And I'm besmirched gold. I'm a Leo. It's actually my base metal. But I didn't know why I was attracted to it. Meaning I kept finding myself in businesses where I was around gold all the time. And I was pissed off at gold. I was mad at it. Because I was mad at abundance. I was mad at rich people. I wasn't mad at money. I had to find out that I wasn't mad at money. I hope money knows that. Because for the longest time, it knew I was mad. I said, fine, we'll go to other people's homes. So it's about releasing the attachments to the physical and knowing that when I think, because I own this what, fill in the blank, an iPad, an iPhone, a computer, a car, anything that has value to it, that I think I'm valuable. When I was, again, back at the jewelry store, I looked at some of the other managers, I'm like, oh my God, I understand we're supposed to like advertise a little bit, but is this a Mr. T starter kit you're wearing? But I watched and watched and watched them putting their self-worth to all the new stuff they bought. Half of my employees, I'm like, why do you come here? You're spending more than you're earning on your employee discount. You're buying jewelry. I'm like, I think you owe us money to work here at this point, because you're just buying. But a lot of people, especially the young people, you know, we did a ceremony for Nancy last night, and Scott did a talk about ceremonies. We haven't had rites of passage in this country. So people aren't growing up with instilled esteem in themselves. They're buying it instead. They're buying their clothes, they're buying their outfits to make me look better, to make me feel better. It becomes a part of our psychological environment, and then we have a whole society growing up thinking that material value is what makes me a man or woman in the world. And when I have less than someone else, I feel less than. It's like, so we have a bunch of people walking around that are wearing Kmart jeans instead of Jordache jeans, and I know I'm behind the times, but the point is, all the women are laughing at me, must be really behind the times. But the point is, who cares? They're finally starting to get in schools going, no, all generic clothing. Everybody's got to wear the same things. We don't want to go to uniforms, but you guys can't wear all these over-the-top designer clothing. Those are the words I was looking for. So that's part of the lesson for people to attachments and esteem. Well, the native peoples didn't do that to themselves, and when they gave gifts, they were spiritual gifts. They meant something. Wealth is measured in many different ways by the two-leggeds across our planet. In the native tradition, one important measure of wealth is a person's ability to assist others. Developed talents and the willingness to use them to aid those in need set a person apart from others who seek self-gratification. This type of individual is the symbol of a potential leader in a tribe. Selflessness is a sign that the giving individual is able to stand apart from the attachments of the physical world. The spiritual life of a person is usually well developed and carries the medicine of the ancestors. This was elementary to the native peoples. As we release the attachments to the physical world, we get to play in the spirit world more. Although, let them come visit you. That's what happened to me with TTP. I always wanted to visit them, and Spirit said, okay, if you want to come, fine. But we can come down to earth and play. We don't have the boundaries you do. You're in a physical body. Call Spirit to you. You can astral project if you're really, really good at it, but make sure you have a map back home. Okay, otherwise you're going to leave the planet. And we want you walking around for a little bit more. But they knew this philosophy. They knew that as I gave more and let go of what I thought was something that was important to me, that I was released to a higher understanding and a higher physical plane. I'm always talking about vibration, and I'm trying to teach the place of that vibration is simply a radio station. And on that higher frequency is the songs of God, Goddess, all that is. And on the lower frequencies are songs that don't uplift you, but they're still songs. If you want to say all the time, fine. There's no judgment. It's a free will universe, but understand that there's only so much music being played on those low frequency bands. And if you're wanting to uplift yourself and hear the music of God, God is all that is. You have to raise your vibration. And giving does that. Giving freely does that. And you know what I mean. You've all given something in this room. Every single person in this room has given something freely, unconditionally. There's not a doubt in my mind, because I don't think you would be attracted to this room if you hadn't. Or if you hadn't, maybe you're just awakening to the idea that, you mean, I can give freely and And the expectation I can expect is to be filled with love for myself. Yep. You can't expect that, but that's more like an expectancy. It's like being pregnant. That's expectancy as opposed to expectation. My brother Lazarus taught me that one many, many years ago. There's a very powerful lesson of expectation versus expectancy. They're very two different words in our Native American brothers and sisters, and a lot of tribal people knew this. We knew this when we were still tribal people. We forgot we all came from a tribe. Our tribe is so big now, we lost sight of who we were. The concept of Indian giving came from a misunderstanding when a boat person received a giveaway and the Indian who gave the gift later reclaimed it. This manner of taking back a gift is done for a reason. If any item is given to someone who has no use for it, the giver has the right to reclaim the gift and give it to another who will use it. Every substance in our world has a role in creation. We two-leggeds have the ability to assist every part of creation by honoring the particular mission of each one and allowing them to be used. If a clay pot sits on a shelf and is not used, the mission of that pot has not been honored as sacred, and therefore should be passed to someone who will allow it to complete its mission of service. When anything is made by human hands, the medicine of the maker is part of the object created. To wantonly destroy the object would be a dishonor to the medicine, and along with to the tool maker too. So the person who made the medicine and the medicine itself. Actually, right there. For their perspective, when we were little kids, we used this one, Indian giver, right? It's like, but let's really understand this lesson too, because what this is saying, because a lot of the time what they gave was medicine. Everything to them was medicine, because they knew that everything had a vibration. Science will tell you everything has a vibration. Science knows this. Every single thing around us has a frequency that it vibrates at. So when I say medicine and frequency and how medicine works with you, you have a frequency. You vibrate. When two frequencies meet, they create another frequency. That frequency vibrates, and with that vibration will be certain things that will happen in your body. Good health, bad health. Higher thought, lower thought. It's not really rocket science at all. It's like mixing colors together. If I take two base colors and put red with blue, I'm going to get purple. And purple's vibration is a different vibration than the vibration of red alone or the vibration of blue alone. It's a spectrum. We see it on a light scale, and it has a sound to it. Well, if I have bear medicine, that's what my bear claw is, and it vibrates somewhere, and I vibrate somewhere, and when I put it on, my vibration changes. It helps my spirit. It helps me raise my vibration if I've lowered, or maintain it if I'm already there. That's what staging does. That's what holy water does when the Catholics were blessing us. That's what the monks were doing when they're chanting. This is no secret, guys. This isn't new thought. This is old thought. New to us. That's all. This is all ancient stuff. But we're new, so we're going to figure it all out and keep trucking along. Like Donna Frost kept saying, keep on keeping on. And that's what we do. And I lost my train of thought again, but that's okay. The Indian giving part of this was, if I see that I gave you a gift and you're not using it, but Daylight can prosper from that gift, because maybe she's going through something that will work, I'm going to go give it to her. You may be mad at me, and I will go, you used not the gift. You were dishonoring its medicine and the maker of the medicine. If I was given a gift, and I thought, man, I'm going to re-gift her, it's not a bad thing, because you're paying it forward. That's the true lesson of giveaway in Indian giving, is to have the wisdom in yourself to know that I'm not appreciating this gift, and somebody will. Give it to that somebody who will appreciate the gift. It's okay. It's a good thing. The other aspects of paying it forward, if you don't like something I made and you want to make fun of it, you're actually bringing dishonor to you, not me. We're all connected, guys. You can make fun of me all you want. I do it all the time. I might not like it if you do it to me, because I'm human. I might say, unacceptable, please don't do that. That hurts my feelings. But I'm allowed to do it all the time. But when I dishonor this thing that you made, unless I'm just truly busting your chops and playing, I'm actually dishonoring me too, because that could have been a gift that helped my life, or helped one of my brothers and sisters that I'm connected to, and we're all one. So to disrespect you is to disrespect me, and they knew that. The ancestors say that if an object is carelessly broken by a human, that the spirit of the object has been killed. And to make fun of or criticize or break anything that has been graded is to dishonor oneself. The teaching of the giveaway are basic to the native understanding. Many other lessons are learned each time one has the opportunity to share and is faced with personal feelings that arise when the decision to give away is made. As we free ourselves from the need to give with strings attached, or the regret that sometimes follows, we're able to release our spirits and allow them to soar beyond the limited understanding of our former selves. I know someone who did a great giveaway. Remember his name? Jesus. Ultimate sacrifice. And what was their definition of the word sacred? To sacrifice is to make sacred. Well, I know there's a lot of different opinions of the Jesus story, but as the story was told, he sacrificed his whole life so that we may understand this loving truth of moving forward. Everything he did embodied these principles. Everything he did was about turkey medicine. That's what this is. This is a turkey feather. We eat these every Thanksgiving. Their whole existence is about sustaining us currently. Anyway, I think from the dawn of time, they used to, hang out in the woods and be free. But now, there's a whole industry just to feed us. And that's okay. That's a giveaway they do on a soul level. I think Siggy said this a little bit like last week, because we don't really give them a choice. Would you like to be Thanksgiving dinner? No. How'd you like my dog? Thanks. But we don't really give them a choice. But on a soul level, because we all have a soul, everything has a soul. I think Stephanie was telling me when she was a little girl in catechism, whatever you want to call it, a little girl lost their puppy or something, and the teacher said, well, they don't go to heaven. And it pissed Stephanie off. Because she knew that everything goes to heaven. Everything has a soul. And the soul of this bird did a giveaway, saying, okay, there's going to be a few generations of people that eat you every Thursday on a year, every year on a Thursday, to represent the embodiment of these gifts. See, I was going to tell the Thanksgiving story, but it's not a pretty story, guys. The real Thanksgiving story is not a pretty story. So I would rather go to the embodiment of what the people... There was a moment in time where a couple people did have dinner, and I think they got along. I think 10 minutes. And then it was really ugly after that. But the embodiment of the lesson that came with it comes from Turkey. It's also about how much you give to your physical community. What are you giving in your world? What are you tithing in your world? Be it here or out in your world anywhere. This is part of what giveaway is about. Time, talent, or treasures. What is your time? Do you have enough time to go help a homeless person? To go sit there and talk to somebody? Sometimes a gift of your time is to sit in a chair, open your ears, and be. A gift of your talent. Joe gave us of his talent. He built that ramp for us. Now you can come up easily without someone having to lift you. And it's not as scary when you're rolling, isn't it? Yeah. There's always a giveaway that somebody's doing. Somebody always has a talent. And they're judge another person's talent. Because they're your talents. If we're all one, I should revel in your talents. And I'm shitting, yes, you heard me. I shit on myself just now. I said the word should. I should revel in your talents because they are mine. It's the greatest gift to feel joy for someone else's success. If you can feel that cleanly in your heart, that alone is a gift. The native people again knew the gift of the self. selflessly was to bring honor and abundance to the same. So I say to give freely, to step into the flow, to create a flow of the universe and say thank you. When you step into the greater flow, Keys to the Kingdom, we're going to be doing another one next year. It's about this, stepping into the flow of creativity, to the flow of the universe, to the flow of all that is. On the table here, these are my crystal friends. These are my buddies. I love them. I love crystals as I love people. I believe that they're alive. I talk to them. I hang with them. They tell me stuff. You guys might want to start sending me to the basket weaving place, but to them, they're my friends. These little red things are called prayer bundles. There's 52 of them. I prayed 52 times for every week for the next coming year that we as a community would understand these concepts, that we would know the true meaning of giveaway from our heart cleanly. All of these have to go. These are gifts for you. I would like and invite everyone to come and get at least one. I'm going to take one for Becky, one for Scott, because they're on their journey. But if you have someone in your life, if there's ones left over at the end, they all have to go home because they've been preyed upon for the people. Now, it's not like they're going to blow up in a year, like, self-destruct or anything. Keep them on your altar and have them as a reflection of the prayers within them for the last year. But inside the prayer bundles is a little crystal in each one of them, either a clear quartz, an amethyst, or a tourmaline. There's also some coyote fur, so that you will always remember to walk playfully in your life and let coyote dance with you and remind you of humor and trust and innocence. There's also some kinnick in there, and what kinnick is a native smoking blend. What it has in it is bearberry, and bearberry will help you increase your psychic awareness, and it deepens your spirit connection. There's red willow in there as well, and red willow is about respect of ceremony and about spiritual protection. There's yerba santa, which means sacred herb, and that helps for the soul and spirit awakening for people who are just embarking on this path. There's mullein. Mullein was a little bit, there's a lot of things that mullein does, but one of the things that mullein does, it's like a healer's first herb. It's very gentle, it's very nurturing. There's not a lot of, you can't really mess up with mullein. That's in there as well. And there's osha root, or bear root, and it's about protection, healing. It's also about luck, because in some of the other tribes, it was called snake root, and they put it in their moccasins to keep snakes away, hence the luck, because they didn't want to be bitten. So that's what osha root does as well. So again, there's 52 bundles here. All the prayers that I put in, there's probably about, I think, 3 or 4 hours of just sitting and praying with these and making up the bundles and being present with them. And you can put them anywhere. You can put them in your purse, put them in your car, put them on. There's nothing that's going to get you in trouble. Certain feathers I can't give out in the world. Certain feathers I can't even have in the world because I am not Native American. I'm Italian. I'm a Wapaho. A turkey feather is benign. We're allowed legally to have a turkey feather because it's a pheasant. You're allowed to have a parrot feather because it comes from a different country. But in this country, you're not even allowed to have a blue jay feather. It is illegal for us to have feathers because, you know why? They know. They don't want you to have the power of it. Now, they don't want people killing birds of prey to grab their feathers, but not one feather I've ever been gifted has come from an animal that I went out and killed. So it's usually ones that have, met their demise, and they're giving their medicine away. So understand that, but if you do have those kind of medicines, keep it away from the white laws. We'll delete that part of the recording. Anyway, I would like but if I went to jail for that, then just send me a lot of cupcakes, because that would be the only time I'd be okay with being in prison. If they imprison me for my spirituality. I invite everybody to come up now and just in order or out of order, and in honor of Scott, chaotically. You'll see the video, but come up and take a crystal friend for yourself, and At the end, whatever's left over has to go home with someone. So start with one for yourself. I know there's only about 30 people here, so there's plenty. So I invite you to do that, and this is my gift to you and my prayers for the people and all of us. So do that, and then we'll close. Have a song in mind, say something. Yeah, then I'll just do a quick closing and we'll be done. We got a minute here. These are all geodes. They may be amethysts. They're growing. They were. Clear quartz, a little bit of citrine, abundance, higher self, clarity. They're babies. No, we would have to reseed them in a cave. Thank you, everyone. We gotta just simply. And then after we're closed for the day, like I said, the table, I'm going to take one for Becky, one for Scott. Sure, yes.
Mark, can we keep mine for the
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We can do that right now. So,
I got Sue.
okay, you got Sid, there's Becky, Scott,
I got Sue.
Sidney, and Violet. Okay. Yes.
You brought me there.
All right, folks, we're going to close this. Let me just do a little prayer. I invite everyone to close your eyes or open your eyes, because I really don't have attachments. Spirit, as we leave here today, we ask that you constantly remind us of the importance of giving and of gratitude. We ask you, God, Goddess, all that is, that our hearts remain open as this season of giving comes upon us. We remind ourselves of this wonderful lesson and we receive it as a gift. We give freely so we may shed our own chains that would bind our spirits from knowing the true magic of this gift. We thank our native brothers and sisters for the lesson and wisdom of the giveaway ceremony, and we acknowledge their sacred sacrifice. We know, Spirit, that the medicine wheel reflects both fortune and misfortune upon our lives, and that as we live together in community, we embrace the philosophy of Mahalo. No one will be left behind. Ahom Tape Amen. Thank you.
Bless all.